In a television first, it's the lobstermen versus the machines.
Everywhere you look, it's money, 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 money.
Can't really afford to spend another couple of weeks in port.
Skippers reveal their most guarded secrets as they take us inside their world.
Engine room of the bold contender.
I think a lot of blokes down in the pub don't realise how much of a hard job this is.
Oi!
The engine fails.
Hey, fucking hell!
You doing it?
Yep. So there's something serious going on.
The disasters.
Fuck!
The deckhand is the one in the firing line.
What made you feel alive, mate? Bit of salt water?
And the terrifying near misses.
Yeah, fucking prick.
No one else was stupid enough to come out here. I've been in incidents where people have lost their lives. I lost 2 good mates, drowned.
It's an environment which is just high risk. It's as dangerous as being a soldier in Afghanistan.
Lobster hunting is one of the deadliest jobs in the world.
What the fuck is that?
The Southern Ocean.
Fucking work, you.
Let's go down and have a look. Anything can go wrong, like, it's just money, like money, money. Everywhere you look, it's money, 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 money.
Skipper Glenn Jager, aka Snotty, is in a world of pain. The engine of the Anson's Bay has failed.
So I think it's a stopper solenoid stopping our engines. I'm worried about it, really worried about it. I'm just going to gaffer tape it up.
A stopper solenoid transmits the battery voltage to the starter motor. If Snotty can't get it working, he'll be forced to return to port. That's if he can even get to port.
I'm not a super-duper mechanic or anything like that, but, you know, I just know a little bit about enough things to get yourself out of trouble, I suppose. Can you just come here, old boy?
Lobstermen need to be handy at mechanical work and basic electrics.
Just hang on, I'll just try it once more. Just hold your finger over that button for a sec. Just when I say, just try and start it. Press the button! Bloody stopper solenoid sticky. My boat's a 50-foot steel fishing boat, half wheelhouse. I think she was built in about 1976. And it's got a real nice big wet well in it, so we can hold a lot of fish, which that's where you make your money, so I love the whole boat. She's a beauty.
Just not today.
The fisherman needs to be fairly resourceful. He needs to know a lot about his engine room and every part of the boat. And most people can carry out minor repairs. It's only if there's a major breakdown that you get into trouble and need assistance.
Try again.
God, fuck me.
You need to be fairly stoic, not too nervous. Go out there and go as hard as you can, and you can get good results if you are committed.
Go hard or go home. It's been this way for more than 150 years.
Loaded with clay pots, the boats go out regularly from the jetties and the lonely anchorages around the islands. Their goal, the rocky sea...
The Tasmanian lobster industry kicked off in the 1860s.
Back in the early days, under sail and fishing in close to shore clearly would have been pretty dangerous times.
A typical lobster vessel pre-1930 was virtually a sailing vessel. He might have a small auxiliary. Perhaps in a 50-foot boat it might be only 15 horsepower, just enough to motor in and out of a port.
The skipper travels about from one setting to another, keeping the boat continually on the move. Sometimes they move into the open sea, where no shore breaks the surge of the swell.
We got our export rock lobster industry starting in the late 40s, early 50s with frozen lobster tails to America. Up until the early 70s was a tail market into the US, and gradually and slowly the live market began into Asia, starting with Japan and then into China.
Here's a big catch that hasn't been sorted yet. But when they're measured for legal size, the ones thrown in the well will soon be on dinner tables all over the world.
Today, 90% of all lobsters caught in Tasmania are exported live to China.
I think the Chinese love our lobsters the most because it's a standout figure.
Premium big reds can fetch between $80 and $110 per kilo. The highest price ever recorded was $125 a kilo.
The Southern Rock Lobster is the king of the dinner table. You put that on the table, it gets everyone's attention.
Yeah, we're under the restaurant right now, and we catch all our and supply all our own fish, so it's all sustainable fishing.
In Stanley, Tasmania,
We're actually down to our last few, so it's imperative for the operation that we go out there and we catch some fish.
family-owned seafood restaurants like the Herseys catch their own lobsters and run their own fleet of boats.
Can't really afford to spend another couple of weeks in port. It's not very profitable.
But there's a problem.
Boats, they're a costly machine. I've been stuck at port for 2 months now.
We've just got a head gasket kit, new O-rings.
An engine breakdown has left third-generation lobsterman Steve Hersey grounded at port. And the restaurant's running low on lobsters.
I'm ready to go to sea, but the boat's not, so I'm sitting in port, not making any money. Stress is building, can't go to work. It really sucks.
Steve skippers the Ella Rose, a boat known for high drama.
The Ella Rose actually sunk once at the wharf, and it's been burnt out. It's just a machine, it just keeps on keeping on. I just put all the new makeup on the Ella Rose. She's looking beautiful. I come off the slip, I go to sea, and I got a leak and coolant out of the head, so that's a cracked head, so that's nothing worse than a cracked head. Oh, cracked head. So there's not a lot in the tanks at Herseys at the moment?
Yeah, we'll get it all timed up properly and all the valves and that adjusted, and hopefully we're in action. Touch wood.
Yeah.
Joys of having a boat.
Exactly right. Today on board we got Gus. He's here for moral support. We need it. It's first trip. Jamie's had a couple of months off, so he's awfully itching to make a paycheck. Jamie! Welcome aboard, mate.
The Ella Rose is configured like most Tassie lobster boats.
Tassie lobster boats vary a lot in size, anything from 35 feet, perhaps up to 60, 65 feet.
There is the forward wheelhouse vessel and the aft wheelhouse, and they tend to be very different kinds of boats.
Skipper Pete's lobster boat, the Triton, is a forward wheelhouse vessel. The Bold Contender, the Anson's Bay, the Kayakura and the William Norling are all aft wheelhouse vessels. Aft means located towards the stern.
They've both got their advantages and disadvantages. Wheelhouse forward's much better for the deckhand, but not so good for travelling where you're up where the action is in the bow of the boat where you go up and down a lot more.
Also here we have the wheelhouse, mate. This is where all the brain work happens, well, that's what I like to say. Yeah, obviously I got my plotters, GPS, sounders, radars, radios, everything in here.
Your typical Tassie lobster boat might be wheelhouse aft, galley aft of the wheelhouse.
Kitchen, lounge area, somewhere to watch the footy.
Some accommodation forward.
That's your eyesight, that's me bum.
Might be a bunk or two up forward for the crew, one back aft for the skipper.
Here we are, my bedroom.
Living aft is a lot more comfortable than living forward, obviously, because there's less movement aft than what there is forward.
I'll take you around the back now.
Stern is usually the heads at the stern, the toilet. There'll be a door for the toilet at the stern sometimes.
In here is where we shower and fucking... oh, shit. We shower in there. That obviously, that's not a good time, but anyway. Try again!
It's been starting and stopping on us. As soon as I start, it stops. Start, stop, start, stop.
On board the Anson's Bay, Snotty and deckhand Jake are having no luck fixing the boat's faulty engine.
I think our bloody stopper solenoid stuff, we've got to go on and that, but you sort of have to hold it open. There's no troubles tying them open, is there, or not?
Did you set the casting cable to won't you when you want to stop it?
Yeah, nah, all good. I will do that. That'll be our bloody insurance policy, so she don't stop on us then, so...
Okay, mate, catch you after.
Cheers. You can be around the coast catching fish, a $20 part will break down, you haven't got a spare, and it's like, fuck, I've got to come home because a $20 part.
The last time Snotty had a faulty part, this happened.
The intake pipe blew out on us. There was just water getting sprayed everywhere. Next minute we're on fire. Something must have earthed out or something. Fireball come out the bloody door and I said to him, just get out of it. Then was in big trouble.
Coming up,
Hey, fucking hell.
the Bold Contender's massive power failure
Hey, Capes!
threatens to kill Squizzy's $30,000 haul.
Within an hour and a half, all them lobsters in that tank will be dead.
When did you get back from the last trip? How long did it take?
I've only been home. Hey, Dean, how you going? Only been home a day, so.
And you're going again?
Yep. But we're going to head west this trip and go get a few red ones, I reckon. Try and get away from the jellyfish.
Margate Wharf, Tasmania.
There you go.
Thanks, Bob.
And Skipper Squizzy is refuelling the Bold Contender.
We're going to take 3,000 litres today. They're $1.51, so that's 4,500. That only half fills the Bold Contender. It takes 6,000 litres of fuel, so if we're going to fill it right up today, that'll be $9 grand.
6,000 litres would fill the fuel tanks of about 100 standard cars.
So we've filled up our first tank. This is our second tank. Bold Contender uses 23 litres an hour. That's what we sort of cruise at. But if I want to put the hammer down and give her all the horsepower, she can burn 60 litres an hour. If you want to burn it, you can burn it, but we don't do that. It's just not economical. But even in rough weather, if you're working the rough weather, you use more fuel.
Rough weather has been forecast for the next 5 days. Not good financial news for the Bold Contender.
The lobster boat will start off at 100, 150,000 for a small one, and anything up to 1.5 mil for perhaps a 60 or 70 foot boat.
Weighing in at 75 tonnes, the steel-hulled Bold Contender is valued at $500,000.
Engine room of the Bold Contender. Main motor, Yamaha, 330 horsepower. Only 3,500 hours. And that was put in at roughly a cost just below $200,000. So you can see where money goes in boats. I knew I could take this to sea in rough weather and have confidence in the Bold Contender to go out in that kind of weather. Love it. Absolutely love it. More power, more reliable.
Your modern day boats are all diesel powered with a fair bit of power. Power has increased over the years. Your typical 50 footer might have 200 or 300 horsepower.
This is where everything happens. The main motor is a Cummins NH55, about 195 horsepower.
Can't think of a Tasmanian crayboat that doesn't have, a diesel, usually a 6-cylinder marine engine. A lot of them will have a generator, some kind of 30 or 40 kilowatt generator in there.
Isuzu genset, 20 kVA.
Switchboard runs all the electrical on the boat, all the 240. Got a couple of gensets. Our big genset, 30 kVA. Our smaller genset, 20 kVA. She just ticks away all day, that one.
A genset is simply a generator on a small diesel engine to supply power to the boat day and night.
A genset generates electricity to run the lights, heat the water, run the navigation, sounder and communication systems, and critically, it keeps the lobsters alive in their saltwater holding tanks. The hallmark of a modern-day lobster boat.
Until port is reached, the fish are kept alive in a well. The roll of the vessel keeps the seawater continually fresh, otherwise fish would die.
The old-timers had to do the very same thing, keep the catch alive all the way to port.
So all the early fishing used to happen with sailboats, and the reason that lobsters were particularly desirable to the early colonists was just that they were something that could keep. So you could put them in a sack and they wouldn't go off over a couple of days. That's because they'd stay alive for a day or two.
Had a good night's sleep last night. Keen as mustard this morning.
Squizzy and Decky Tabor have been a well-oiled machine for 6 years now. They're 350 lobsters in for the trip and looking good.
Good pot. Good pot. That's what we want. We want good pots, baby. Good pots. Nine. Nine's great. Oh, yeah!
The pots are so sweet, Squizzy's made the call to drop them back into the very same location.
Hey, fucking hell. We've got no fucking... I need torch.
Main breaker?
Fucking oath. We've got nothing on genset, nothing at all.
Oh, no power coming out of it?
Nah. I've just realised the genset's not going. This is a massive problem because that genset is keeping our lobsters alive.
Squizzy has $30,000 worth of reds in the holding tanks. Without lights and a navigation system, the entire haul is at risk.
It's not going, it won't start. Fucking oath. Look out, quick.
Coming up,
Fuck.
the most dangerous machine on a lobster boat.
The deckhand is the one in the firing line.
You say that?
And it's man overboard for the Anson's Bay.
What the fuck is that? I hope that's not a fucking body.
Oh, there we go. There's a couple in there. Well done, mate. Give yourself a pat on the back.
The Bass Strait.
This is what kind of fish we're targeting. Big reds, mate.
Couple of kilos, 2.5 probably.
And third-generation lobsterman Steve Hersey is desperate to replenish his family's seafood restaurant with fresh stock.
Was that a couple of keepers there, Jamie?
Yeah, 2.
A few more of those would be all right.
I would be, wouldn't it?
A run of good pots has brought the cruise tally to 115 lobsters.
Probably go over 10 kilo that pot. There's 3 big clangers in it. So that's an over $1,000 pot, mate. That's nice to see. That's cool. Well, I use stick pots because my father and his father before him, we've always used stick pots. They got a steel base, nice and heavy, so that each pot would weigh around probably 30 to 40 kilos.
The wooden pots, or the stick pots as they're called, just work really well. They're like the classic mousetrap. They just continue to be fantastic design and they've stood the test of time.
These basket-like pots are made by the fishermen themselves, with wire, cane, and pliant green sticks.
Bait is secured inside the pot, so Mr. Crayfish has to get at it through the funnel at the top. The reason you can catch a cray this way is that he's too stupid to find his way out again.
Lobster pots cost between $300 and $350 to buy, and every skipper has his favourite type.
Steel pots, for me, fishing inshore and offshore, they're more flexible.
The reason I use steel pots is because we probably work a bit deeper water, and nearly all our pots weigh the same, so I can read them in the tide a bit better. And I think they sink heaps better than a stick one.
I like to use the stick pots. You don't get as long out of them. You only get about 3 years out of a stick pot and then you've got to replace him. But I think they catch red fish a lot better.
Really, the pots being used around Tasmania today pretty much look just like those ones back in the 20s. There's lots of parts of those stick pots which are not ideal. I mean, they don't stack particularly well on the back of a boat. They don't collapse, take up a lot of space.
In Western Australia, lobstermen use square timber pots.
Another 11 crays out of that one.
They're easier to stack and store.
Got a found pot here. The pot's found under ledge here, and it's pinned up there, won't move. So I've got to go try all different angles to see if I can get it out.
Accidents often occur when a pot gets snagged on the ocean floor.
Fuck!
Oh, tangle, Jamie. The pothole is probably the most dangerous thing on the boat. Pulling the pots through the hauler, you can get your fingers caught, lose one. The rope naturally wants to flick back out, so the rope can fly up and wrap around your hand, pull you over the side.
The pot hauler is a hydraulic winch system designed to make life easier for the deckhand.
Got a stuck one.
But in an instant, it can turn deadly.
Fuck! Break! Fuck! Oh,
Nearly got him on deck.
There's things flying off the boat, coming back in. All the turning mechanisms are waiting to eat fingers, hands, limbs. And then a lot of it's also geared up to hit you in the head, pull you over the side. Yeah, it's properly dangerous, especially for the deckhand. The deckhand is the one in the firing line, if you want to use that figure of speech.
Probably shows a few years off the life. Jamie's actually only 21. He's just gone great from all this sort of fishing.
You want to go fishing, man, you want to stand out here. You don't want to stand in there. Any dickhead can do that. Look at Squizzy. He does it quite well.
It's a dangerous place to work, even for the most experienced deckhand, let alone a greenhorn. Jai is in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Out of the way of the hauler, mate. I can't see the hauler.
It's not on the hauler.
Don't stand there.
And Jai's just standing in a very awkward place. The rope's got the potential to fly off the hauler and be very dangerous as far as wrapping around someone and dragging them over the side.
Get out of the fucking way. You're right, was. I was just waking back on.
It's a terrifying near miss. Situations like this don't always end well.
I was working on the west coast of Tasmania. There was a large swell. We got a foul pot. And a young boy working on my boat got his finger caught off and ripped half of it off. He lost his finger and I was like...
It is easy to cause an injury on a cray boat. There's many hazards. As a skipper, you're watching your crew all the time. You're looking out for each other. There is that possibility that something bad can happen.
He's blowing in a big way, look.
We've got a blown fuse on the genset. Oh, this is the problem. Hopefully, we just put another one in it and we're way and going.
The bold contender.
Don't start it until I bridge it.
Yep.
And Squizzy's $30,000 lobster haul is under threat.
Last fuse. This don't work, we're going home.
It boils down to this. Can they get the backup power generator to start?
Get him, baby! That's better than a pot with 20. Yep, Code. The problem with the backup genset, it's like an old car. It's done 500,000 kilometres. It's burning oil, it's spitting oil out the side of the motor. It's just, and it's smoky. It's worn out. We've got thousands of dollars worth of fish in the tank, and I'm relying on an old piece of shit to keep them alive.
With all 50 pots set, the crew anchors up for the day.
Just come in to drop the anchor in Wreck Bay here. Nice and calm. Nice day, that's for sure. Fucking oath! I don't have any hydraulics.
the boat's hydraulic system has stopped working.
It was just a popping sound, only quick split. I knew what it was straight away. We've got no hydraulics. So we can't put the anchor down, we're just drifting sideways at the moment.
The hydraulic system has two settings. One controls the anchor and the other controls the pot hauler.
Flick it off anchor, because the anchor's making it hot. Give it another whack.
Not only do they have no anchor, there's no way to pull in the 50 pots they've just shot.
We're dead in the water. We are stuck.
Coming up,
It's just like playing the computer game.
the new tech transforming the lobster industry.
Just don't take your eyes off that swell, Scotty. Whoa,
And why the smallest boat is the deadliest.
Dinghy fishing is the most dangerous type of crayfishing.
Oi!
We might sneak over there and try and grab it. Hopefully it's not hanging over a rock too badly.
Southwest Tasmania, and the crew of the Immerse is attempting to retrieve a snagged lobster pot. The vessel is dangerously close to shore.
See here, I put a mark on there where I think it is, and I haven't been in there before. So I'm just going to slowly poke in there. I can sort of see shallows up inside of it, back in here a bit. So I'm going to try and just sneak in there, keep an eye on the sounder, and hopefully we can get the grapple to the boys and then tow it out and get it back. Hitting the bottom is the biggest risk.
Skipper Clive combines years of experience with state-of-the-art sonar technology.
It's less than 2 metres under the boat.
To determine where to drop his pots.
You can be travelling at less than 2 miles an hour and your knees can go weak when you see that sounder, the bottom start coming up closer and closer.
The depth sounder sends out a sound beam. That sound beam hits whatever is below the vessel, and it returns back. And then there's a little computer, little algorithm that counts the amount of time it takes for that sound to come back. And if you understand how to interpret that sound and as it shows up in the display, you can go, well, this bottom is sandy, or this bottom is broken shell. Oh, there's rock. There's rock, there's reef.
It's a far cry from what the earliest lobstermen had at their disposal.
In the early years, before there was sounding devices to sound the bottom electronically, the usual way to find depth and to find whether you were on reefy bottom, where crays live, as against sand or mud where they don't live, was to use a sounding lead.
So a piece of lead with a little bit of wax on the end, and they'd drop it down, and if it came back with a bit of sand on the bottom, they'd know that they were over sand rather than reef, and they would keep searching and eventually find reef, and that's where they would set their pots. So it was very primitive, but they were able to get incredibly good catch rate.
The echo sounder paints a picture of the bottom for the crayfish men and tells them just where they should set out their pots.
I've been fishing, 56 years. Sounders were just starting to come in when I first started fishing. We'd just run around until we found a bit of kelp, which was growing, and throw a pot alongside a bit of kelp, because kelp's always attached to a rock.
That's it, no, I can see the strop. Can't be far away. Can't see it, Zach. Can't see it.
Coming, mate.
Look at that.
That's what you're stuck on.
One of me brand new pots too.
No damage.
No damage. How about that?
Advances in GPS technology have improved safety and helped to boost lobster catch rates.
Yeah, this is the new mapping system. Map out about 150 metres either side of us. Map your loads to pot to half position. I shoot over when I want, so make it be more efficient in the fact that you can shoot your pots in quicker. You're not zigzagging, looking at the bottom. You know exactly where it is. And
3D mapping maps out the bottom, and you just look it back up, and it's got a picture of the 3D bottom, where the rocks are, where the sand gaps are, where the gullies run. Yeah, just like watching a movie, really.
it's just like playing the computer game. I don't look where I'm going. I can actually see on the screens where my pots were just shot. I like it. Another toy.
But for some lobstermen, it's all about instincts and a whole lot of guesswork.
Yep.
Cracker and deckhand Scotty are targeting the highly prized big inshore reds.
We'll put one in here just on the edge of this bit of white water.
I've lived on the edge with everything I've done in my life, and dinghy fishing's just another one of them, but yeah, you do live on the edge.
Been here before, we know roughly where the big hole is here, so you ready? Yep.
You're always in a little bit of danger, I guess.
Beautiful. Done. That's what we'll be expecting tomorrow.
That's where the fish are.
Lobsters that are in closer to shore tend to have more algae in their diets. The algae has pigment in it, and that gets into the metabolism of the lobsters and helps create a dark red shell. And it's that red shell that the market really likes. So that means you can get a high price for those lobsters that are in inshore areas.
This is where we have to be careful not to get a rope around the prop here. End up high and dry up on the rocks.
Dinghy fishing is the most dangerous type of crayfishing.
Cracker's dinghy isn't fitted with a depth sounder, so he has to navigate the rocky bottom by feel.
Oi! You're in the rocks, and that's a place where it does not take much roll or much swell to be able to offset that boat with a breaking wave, and you're on this little, it's a 5.5 meter piece of aluminium with 10 cray pots on it that each weigh 30 to 50 kilograms, 2 men, and an outboard engine. And if it flips over, maybe you're gonna get away if you got a life jacket on, but you're probably gonna get hit in the head and then squished up a bunch of all the other gear that's in there with you, and you're just not, yeah, it's not pleasant.
Just don't take your eyes off that swell. Whoa, shit. Didn't see that one coming. Yep.
In the very early times, the dinghies were propelled by oars and by sail.
A small dinghy is often used to get in close where a larger boat cannot go.
You had to pick your weather. You had to know your weather and the conditions and make sure that you didn't get caught if the weather come in on you. You could be in a bit of bother. Getting out of trouble with oars would be a pretty daunting process, of course.
The older guys that used to do it never had dinghies like we've got these days.
Hold on.
We've got a lot of power on the back of the dinghy, 60 horsepower on the back of a 15-footer, and we get up on the plane quick, so if we can see a wave coming, we've usually got a plan where we can go and hide behind a rock or get out before it comes.
That's what we've got to avoid, this one.
I flipped a dinghy with the deckhand, and we both got trapped underneath the dinghy, and it was actually bouncing up and down on the rocks while we was underneath it. I scrambled out. I didn't know really where we was or what was happening. I got up on the rocks and looked back down, and the deckhand was nowhere. He was still under the dinghy. I thought he was gone. I reckon it was 15 or 20 seconds later, his head popped up from out the side of the dinghy, and the relief that come on me that day was pretty good to see him.
I was in that situation. I had been on a boat that had flipped and rolled, and I'm floating in the water in a life jacket. What's going to kill me is exposure, not a shark. I'm going to die of hypothermia in the water there in less than 2 hours, even in the summer.
Like what I do is dangerous. There's a chance that could be what gets me.
Didn't see that one coming.
Cracker's daredevilness is the reason Brother Snotty feels compelled to keep an eye on him.
Hold on, no, I was spinning. Whoa, hold on.
I hate fishing around Cracker because it's just, he'll be in a dinghy and the swell will make, and I'm pulling me pots, and all I seem to be doing is thinking about him, looking for his dinghy to make sure he's right. Like, it pisses me off.
Oi!
Coming up,
I'm not going home without minus $13,000 worth of gear lost.
it's situation critical for the bold contender.
What the fuck is that?
And the bizarre twist in Snotty's man overboard crisis.
I hope that's not a fucking body. when you get up in the morning, it's still dark, it's raining. It's nice to be able to go into the toilet and have a nice peaceful shit.
The Anson's Bay. And sometimes it's the most basic piece of machinery that threatens to shut down a trip.
Can you throw me that bit?
You should be able to see it there.
Oh, is that it there?
That black bit?
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
We're in deep shit if the toilet don't work. Especially around the west coast of Tassie, like you get up near some of them rivers and the mozzies, bloody, oh, you can't be shitting over the side of the boat. They just pick you up and carry you away pretty much. At least you can go in here, shut the door, you know, there's no mozzies in there and you can have a peaceful crap and a good think about what you're going to do for the day. So, nah, I'd be lost without me toilet.
Statistically, most man overboards have their flies down. It's the most time you're most likely to fall off that boat is when your fly is down. At the stern, at night, taking a pee off the back, everybody else is asleep, and the boat steams on and you're floating there in the water just kind of like, ha, 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 great. It's not so much the big flashy risks that get you, it's not the sharks, it's not the rogue waves, it's I went to the stern to take a piss and I tripped and nobody saw me fall overboard.
Fucking work, you cunt.
Five kilometres to the south.
We've got power going to it, but no hydraulics going. It's not on anchor, it's on pod hauler. Hydraulics.
Squizzy's got serious problems to deal with. The Bold Contender has no anchor.
So we've got no hydraulics, we've got no anchor winch, so we can't drop the anchor, and we've got no pot winch. We can't winch the pots back up.
Without an anchor, they could drift onto the rocks. But without a pot winch, they'll lose all of the 50 pots they've just shot.
I don't want to be here at 3 o'clock in the morning, no other boats around, and I can't pull my 50 pots to go home.
Squizzy has a temporary fixed solution to bypass the problem with a bit of dodgy rewiring. But it means he can only fix one of the two problems.
I've diverted it so we've got one or the other. Number one priority, get that pot winch going so I can winch them pots back up. Otherwise, they're stuck on the bottom. They can't be. I've got to get them pots back on this boat. I'm not going home without minus $13,000 worth of gear lost. While these boats still here, working, Glenn and a couple others, and it's daylight, we'll go pull them and get going. I think that's the smart move.
Snotty's close by if Squizzy really gets stuck. With a dodgy genset and broken hydraulics, Squizzy's opted to cut his losses and return to port.
All we have to do is pick up these 50 pots and we're heading home. Just shows you out here, things can change that quickly, just like that. You're on a high, you got 140 this morning, nice big red trays, high-fiving each other, how good we were, patting each other on the back, and next minute, bang. That's how quick it can change. Just like that. That's fishing.
If anyone gets into strife, people come to help. Usually the nearest person will come and give them a tow or whatever help is required. It's unwritten law of the sea, even if they're your worst enemy, you'll go and help because you never know when you might need that help yourself. So it's a good insurance to help everyone.
It's good news for Snotty. His lobster potty is back up and functioning.
You see that?
Yeah, what is that?
The crew's only got one pot left to pull before returning to port. But something in the water has got their attention.
What the fuck is that? I hope that's not a fucking body. Well, I'm thinking, I hope this ain't a dead body. Like, I'm thinking, I don't want to have to deal with this. Oh, fuck me.
No one's playing games.
Fuck. Fuck. I thought that's fucking someone fucking dead. Fuck me. Fuck. Oh, me fucked.
It's not just breakdowns that can bring you unstuck at sea.
Idea behind it looks like a man's gone over the side, which if you weren't expecting it, would be pretty scary.
With fishing mates like these, who needs enemies?
Our man overboard, deckhand lost at sea.
It's, yeah, a huge relief, actually. It's like, thank Christ for that. But that's Squizzy the bastard. Why's he got to blow up dough on his boat? He's just got nothing better to do. He's holding that Squizzy has fucked me.
I brought that dough, this is a quote, I brought that dough for this prank. Nothing else, okay? Nothing else. Give him a kiss.
Give him a kiss? No, he's too spiky.
We'll go just 8 kilos, round it off, try and beat that, boys, up north.
There's a fierce competitive spirit driving the Southern Fleet.
Got a tractor, Warren. I put Scotty to number 1 today. Do the crane dance when you want.
Where did you get a blow-up doll from?
I'll guarantee you she's a virgin.
But there's also a camaraderie.
How you going with it, man? Yeah, not too bad. Yeah, stuck him on there.
That's good, mate. Yep. It's good fishing every day. Like, it was consistent. To be able to get into right in close to the rocks where I like to get, and yeah, it worked out. So we've got some nice sized fish, as you can see. And
The Yellow Rose's refurbished engine never missed a beat.
4.6, not quite the biggest, but chilled out.
That's 615 freshly cooked lobsters on the tables of the Hersey's family restaurant.
We just weighed them up and got a final weigh in, and we got 613 kilos.
The Anson's Bay landed a $55,000 payday.
That's a bonus. That is a good bonus. That is, I'm bloody stoked with that. So it's definitely been a successful trip. So, you know, we've made money, and we need to keep making money so we can spend on our boat. Like, everything's bloody that dear. We'll leave Squizzy a little message. He'll get a laugh out of it. He's a good bloke, old Squiz. So he's tied it to our pot. So we'll just give him a bit back.
The bold contender limped back into port with a lighter than usual load.
Not used to seeing it not full.
I'd rather put something in the tank than nothing.
Yeah. You want to know what you got, mate, or what?
I'll have a guess at 380.
You've done a bit better than that, buddy.
Did I?
Yeah, mate. 411. Those red buggers weigh a bit more.
A $32,900 payday for Squizzy and Tabor means they live to fight another day.
We got our target. Not many jobs you go to work. It's just like some bloke, he's working in his 9 to 5 job and he goes fishing on the weekend. Well, I do that for a living. It's pretty cool, isn't it?